All right, good morning. Handy dandy iPad says 4:28. We're a little bit behind schedule today. And you know what? I'll let you in on a little secret. We had a whole intro and I had to restart it. Had some technical issues, technical difficulties, had to correct them. And so now we're back. And speaking of which, that's on today's schedule. Back, bicep, and shoulders. Couple updates. Number one, weather. Had some freezing rain, supposedly, and roads aren't bad. Quite literally was on the main road. I had to go back home to fix the technical difficulties, like I said. But was on the main road, not really any issue. At this point, I'm going to have to take back roads. Should be fine. If we hit a point, it is what it is. We will make do with what we have. So that's update number one. Still the Arctic tundra out here. Snow's on the ground. There's ice sporadically. There's ice right there. So my car is freaking out. So yeah, that's that update. Second update from yesterday's leg day. Mentioned I had a small pull on my left hamstring. Played it safe. Went from the full stack, which is 200 pounds, to 170, just to really make sure everything was okay. And woke up this morning, everything was fine. No bruising, no nothing. Again, I just felt a small twinge, and I wanted to play it safe. I didn't want to just keep going after it and then really hurt myself, you know what I mean? And I think that's the safe way of going about it. So, hamstring's fine. Legs are sore, which means I did something at least. But quads could be a bit more sore. I'd be happier if they were a little bit more sore. But for the time being, I'm happy with the results. So, no hamstring injury. No need to lay off it for a super long time. We may get lucky and have an opportunity for another bonus lift this weekend, but to be determined. TBD. Side roads. We're headed to the gym now. And my clock is still on construction time. I always had it ahead just a little bit, so I knew if I got to the job site. Back when I was in my construction days, I could show up to the job site a little bit early and take a little nappy poo. It is 4:31 now. We'll probably get to the gym in about 8-10 minutes maybe. It's not far. Gym's only about 11 minutes from my house. And we've already been driving for at least a little bit. It's getting real hot in here, let me tell you what. So, today's schedule, back, biceps, shoulders. Before, this used to be my favorite day. And now I feel like today's kind of the day where I like to get methodical a little bit. And let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. I'm no scientist, all right? I'm no mastermind of this stuff yet. Again, we're still in what I consider the adolescent stages of, bodybuilding and aesthetic, whatever we want to call this. We're still fairly young, okay? We got some growing to do, for sure. But everybody wants, big arms, right? Big old biceps, whatever. And back, whoa, those are some deer. Hey, what the frick, dude? Dude, Bambi was trying to kill me, man. Anyway, everybody wants the wide back. And they're, me too. But now, I want to be a little bit more methodical on how I get there. And I feel like I've been doing the same thing over and over again, and we all know the definition of insanity. You do the same thing over and over again with the expectation of a different outcome. Wrong-o, not how it works. I mean, repetition and doing it, okay, you know what? Forget it. Anyways, I'm going to switch it up a little bit today, and I am pretty excited about it. Do I have a list of workouts to kind of help guide me? Yes. However, I haven't used that list in months. At this point, I take from others that I watch, others that I see, those who I am influenced by, and wonder, how can that apply to me, right? Because something that works for somebody may not work for you, but you don't know unless you try. So, for me, we're going to try a couple new things. And nothing crazy. Like, it's not like upside down Spider-Man, curl. Come on. It's just different than what I'm used to. And a different rhythm, a different order of things than I'm used to. And I will say, too, I do believe, for me personally, my biceps are lacking. Biceps, it kind of feels like, I don't know, man. And maybe I'm just thinking too deep, and I need to just get out of my head. That's probably the case. But, you hear all these people talk about, oh, well, you gotta do this to hit, this section of the bicep, and you gotta do that to hit the brachialis, and you gotta do this to hit, yada. Like, okay, just can we just lift, and all those things will just come naturally, you know what I mean? I feel like that's what could happen. And so today, I'm not going to be super crazy, but I do want to try, even with bicep, a couple different things. I'm thinking like seated curls with just a little bit of a lean back, so isolated curls, both arms same time. I'm thinking like preacher curls with an easy bar. I can't remember. I swear I saw a TikTok or something, and a guy was talking about, like, I can't remember who it was, and I don't believe it was anybody like, it wasn't Ronnie, it wasn't Jay, it wasn't Lee, but it was this dude, and he said something along the lines of, like, an easy bar doesn't work your biceps. It's all straight bar. Okay, again, what works for some may not work for others, and maybe there's legitimacy to that. But I also have used an easy bar in bicep curls, and I have felt the burn in my biceps. So I don't, it's kind of one of those to me, like, let's trial and error here. So, schedule for today, back, bicep, and shoulders, like I said, like we've been talking about. So, we're going to hit some straight bar rows, and then there's a machine in there. It's another row, but it's like lean forward. And then the last one, if you've been following along, or if you follow me on Instagram, I usually start with like single arm, like cable pulls for my lats. And I think what I'd like to do is, instead of doing that and isolating the lats, we're just going to start with like a seated row, straight bar, just going after it. And then we'll do the other one, the other machine that I told you about. I'm sure you'll remember once you see it. And if you're new, welcome. But we'll do that. And then we'll do like a double, where I'm kind of like lean forward, but pulling like here. You'll see it. I can see it in my head, and I'm like salivating, because I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to get after it. Feel good today. Again, used to be my favorite day, and today it's like more like, okay, I feel like I'm in the lab on back, bicep, and shoulders. Chest, I feel like I could throw stuff around. Triceps, I do feel like my triceps are good. I need more development. I need more like sculpting of my tricep. Strength, of course. It's a never-ending story. But yeah, so there's that. Also, another quick update: shoulder, fine. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it was just a cold snap and just the weather that was messing with my body, that when I got into the gym, it just threw me off. You know, again, not every lift is going to be the greatest, and not every lift is going to feel like your absolute best. That's okay. You have to learn to love every step of the journey. So we're pulling in, and it's looking pretty light. We'd love to see it. I love early morning gym sessions, dude. Like, no one's here. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Like, if there are people, nobody messes with you, right? Like, this gym is awesome, you know? Like, people encourage you, people help you out. I've made buddies here. Like, you know, we can all have talks and stuff. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I'm just excited that it'll be my own, my own dungeon, if you will. So we're gonna get in there, back, bicep, and shoulders. Let's go freaking get after it. Okay, made it in. So now, per schedule, rows. The only thing I don't like about this machine is I just feel like I have to lean so far back, and I'm not actually able to like prop my feet up, but it is what it is. Not really much to complain about, so we'll just get after it, and let's run it, man. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so now this is the machine I was talking about. Again, just another row machine, and perhaps it may do the same thing, whatever. But I like to stretch here and, you know, test myself on the weight. Currently at 80 right now. I know, lightweight. But we'll see what happens, see how it feels, and adjust from there. Yeehaw. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to something else. I think that was 4. Pretty sure that was 4. Yeah, let's go to something else. Yes. Yes. All right, so last one, we will go independent on the lats. Definitely my right lat is not sufficient. very clearly weaker than my left side. So I will do some of these, some individual, and then we'll move the bicep. Yeehaw! All right, back finished. Let's move on to biceps. Okay, moving on to biceps. Like I said, we're gonna do seated curls and just get right along. I don't think there's much else to say. Let's make it happen. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Moving on to preachers. Not much to say about it other than we're here. Usually I use the other one, the other preacher machine, but I just wanted to try this one for kicks and giggles. So we'll just get after this one for a few and then move on to the next. All right, I think I've reached the point of fatigue. Barely able to do even half reps at this point. I think that's okay for bicep. I think we need to move on to shoulders at this point. Feel pretty good. I mean, I only did 2 lifts. We'll go throw some heavier weight around, maybe some 40s. That's heavy for me, I know, embarrassing. But we'll go throw those around and just to say we did, you know, standing individual curls, and then we'll move on to shoulders. Let's go do that. So I think I need to reevaluate the definition of heavy, because that's certainly not happening. We're literally going to be throwing around 32 and a half. Not heavy. Burnout. Finish out biceps. Move on to shoulders. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, no way. So we're gonna let this one be the last set, but big reality check. That last set was horrible. I mean, I was using like, what was that, you know? Pulling up with my shoulder. Not even It didn't even feel like a legitimate set, but I think there were some few legitimate ones in there, legit reps. So we'll let this last one count. I had to drop it all the way down to 25 just for the sake of control and making sure that the reps are legit and not just yanking my freaking shoulder out of socket just for the sake of lifting the weight. Embarrassing. All right, get this done and shoulders. All right, shoulders. All right, and now finish off with my personal favorite, laying down face pulls. We'll just get after it, and then we'll get in the car. All right. And that completes the workout. Let's go to the car. All right. And we're back in the car. Yeah, baby. Yeah, buddy. Just kidding. Let's stop right there. Yeah, I feel good, man. I feel good. I think that was a good lift. No bike, running a little bit behind schedule as far as being back home. So we'll just do bike at the house. And it'll be cold too, so hopefully a good burnout. Hello. Yeah, man, I feel good. Back, I definitely felt a better stretch than I normally do. It was nice to switch it up, try something different. Especially, I will admit, the independent pull, dude, game changer. That one was awesome. So let me explain too. The original plan, right? So you saw, like, I don't know these proper terms, so don't scrutinize me, okay? Lat pull or whatever it was. I freaking lost you, dude. I'm sorry. Whatever it was, the lat pull or something, where I had the rope. We have, well, at the gym that I go to, they have the handles, right? The dual handle in one attachment. And I was gonna use that, but it wasn't freaking there. And I didn't feel like going on a freaking scavenger hunt to go find the fricker. So I just used what was there, and it worked. And it actually, like, it felt really good. I definitely felt the pull. I felt the stretch. So I think all in all, it worked out. So next time we'll see if the handles aren't there, or maybe I'll just look in advance just in case. And see if there's, you know, a different feeling. But overall, that one felt great. You know, seated rows, again, like pretty standard on that one, I think. So that felt good. I don't think there was anything like super crazy about that, but yeah. And then bicep, listen, the standing curls, I got no excuse, man. No excuse other than I got to get stronger, and that's all right, man. I had to drop it down all the way to 25, and it's just where we're at right now. To me, I still feel like we're in the baby stage. I know I said adolescent earlier, but you know, we're in the early stages. Let's just make it evergreen. We're in the early stages, and it's all building blocks, man. It's all building blocks. I ended up getting to talk to the guy. Bro's just like super strong, and I think there's something so important about just encouragement in and of itself. Like, just encouraging others, you know? Like, you always want the biggest, the buffest guy, or pretty much anybody that's buffer than you or whatever is clearly making progress, right? Tell you, you're doing great, man. Great job. You know, proud of you, what have you. But what about the other way around? You know, like the little guy going up to the big guy, hey man, I'm proud of you. Like, I know it sounds goofy and all, but they're on a journey too, you know, whatever that looks like. And I think there's something so important about just going up to somebody and being like, hey man, you motivate me, man. You inspire me. And I did that. And, you know, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And it was cool. We got to have a little conversation. And I'm telling you, bro is strong. Bro's really strong. So, pretty cool. And then another guy, we yapped for a little bit. But it was just kind of a back and forth, like, you know. Anyway. So, yeah, man, I feel pretty good. Friday, back, bicep, and shoulders complete. Shoulders. Shoulders felt good. You may have noticed I didn't... Gosh dang it, Bambi. That's twice. Gosh dang it, dude. You may have noticed I didn't do, like, any front delt work, and there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, I'm still trying to figure out like best way to work front delts, and I think that they get incorporated, especially in chest. I feel like they definitely get incorporated, but also too, just as a reminder, on leg days, you don't see it, but I'm doing shoulders on leg days as well, and I incorporate, side, front, and rear. So I work the whole boulder as we are working towards. I work each group on leg day. And so today I wanted to focus on side delts and rear delts. I always want to finish off with rear delts, man. Like laying down face pulls, I hit 170 today, and I don't know what the heck was wrong with me, but it felt heavy, and I was like, what the heck? I hit 150, and it's like, it feels okay, but you may have noticed too, and I'm trying to work on control better, get better form. As the weight would go up, I let it carry me. I did. I let it carry me, and I'm trying not to do that. But anyways, we put in the work. So all in all, feel good. I could definitely fall asleep right now. I'm just going to be honest. Pre-workout depleted. Maybe not. Maybe that's just in my head. We're going to go home, hit the bike. So long as the kids aren't awake. Please, Lord, let them not be awake, as it is just about 6 o'clock. But, yeah, man, feel good. Potential leg day this weekend. We'll see if it works in our favor. Not confirmed. Again, to be determined. And, yeah, man. Once again, we'll finish up on the encouragement factor. First and foremost, as I say it often, but I feel it can't be said often enough. Anybody who's watching, and no matter where you're at, whether you're, years in, just starting out, I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I know you're making strides. And, hit that cardio, man. There's something to be said about 30 minutes of cardio. I know people talk about 10,000 steps or 30 minutes, whatever. If you can fork out at least 30 minutes a day on a bike, I sit on a recumbent bike for 30 minutes. I aim for 10 calories a minute. So roughly 30 minutes, 300 calories. And that can vary, right? If I'm tired, let's just be real. If I'm tired, I may hit 280, 290. But typically, I'm hitting around 3 to 340. Maybe 330. Be a little conservative, I guess. Yeah. And it just starts your day. I think all in all, again, you start it in the morning. Start your day off fresh. Whether you have a pre-workout meal or not. Just hitting 30 minutes. And if you can burn those calories first thing, I don't know. I just think it's a good jump start to the day. So just know that I'm proud of you, proud of where you're at, proud of what you're doing. Great job. Keep it going, man. Don't stop. But remember too, encourage those around you. Make sure you let your bro know, hey man, I'm here for you. I'm with you. I've got your back, and I support you. And that's in everything. I don't think it needs to just be in lifting. I think a lot of us could relate to the idea, lifting, it can sometimes be like a mental escape. And in some ways, I think that's okay. But other times, you just need to talk, and you just need to have somebody there. So I want you to know, if anybody's listening to this and you need somebody, hit me up on Instagram, man. It's in the description, and this isn't like an advertisement of follow me on Instagram, but just simply said, I'm here. I am, my DMs are open to any brothers that need a brother, that need somebody to talk to. you know, and whether that's just an ear to listen or if you need advice, the door is open. And I encourage you to do the same for others. But that's about it. Feel great. What a Friday. Happy Friday, guys. We made it. If you had been hit by the weather, hope you're staying safe. Be safe out there. Tread lightly. Once again, roads aren't that bad. 29 degrees, my car says, but my car has been known to be wrong. But there's also like 1,500 other weather apps that'll say one thing and then it'll say the other. So who's to actually say, you know? But that's it for today, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you. And I'll see you on the next one.